Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we go. Another day we go with Chrissy O to Pursuit of Happiness. I'm kind of all over the place, but that's cool, you know. I don't like to be very conventional and everybody know exactly what's happening all the time. It's good to be spontaneous and a little bit wild. I'm going to show you my unconventional gardening methods, and it's not right by any stretch of the means, but here we go. My little azaleas, they're greening up very nicely. Look at these. So these ligustrums here have the prettiest little white flowers on them, and I will try to zoom in. Apparently these bees absolutely just love it. These things are covered in bees every single day. And they crawl all over it. They absolutely love it. I will tell you that these little white flowers here smell wonderful. So right now, I don't know if you can see all of them. They're crawling around, really getting into those flowers in there. Focus camera. They are full of bees. And I planted these right here. There's a whole row of them, you know, I showed you guys before. We're still working on getting up that tree that was rotten and kind of went, you know, on the ground here with a little bit of help from the chainsaw. Haven't finished getting that up yet. It's been kind of wild. So I planted the ligustrums right here. And I want them to get giant and big and green and pretty. And then my little azaleas, the brown on that one has been very concerning. There's a little bit of green left, not much though. There's a little bit of green left on it, so I'm wondering if the ants or something ate it, so I may have to replace that one. But everything else in these little pink coral bell pink azaleas have greened back out and done pretty well. But for the most part, everything's done nicely with the ligustrums. There's the other two on this side because I want it to fill in this space right in here. Now, like I said before in other videos, am I a professional gardener? Heck no. Am I unconventional? Heck yeah. That's just how it goes. That's how I work, you know. There's a lot of weeds that we have to move out and get going out of here. So there's a lot of spraying that's going to happen. We're supposed to have some more water coming in, rain. Oh, nice. Motorcycle out for a very pretty drive. Anyway. So I have the viburnums here. They've done really nicely, part shade, part sun. And then I have all of my pretty little flowers and things here. These are mostly like ground covers. They just kind of blend in with the ground. And then I have my japonica camellia back there. There's a lot of stuff from the woods that trails in, especially grapevines. We get a ton of grapevines just spontaneously popping up here. That's got to be cleaned up. These pretty little yellow flowers, I can't even remember the name of them right now. It's a little bit too early in the morning because it's too hot to walk later in the day. But look how pretty they are. They have really done nicely. We just got to get rid of a lot of the weeds and things around it. My thinking for all of this is being that I'm in the woods and we live in the woods way far back off the road, is to have things that look like they're pretty in color, they bloom, but that they kind of naturally just popped up even though they didn't. Just to have it out here. This Leland cypress is going to have its big purpose because it's going to fill in all of this space in here, and it's going to be able to grow as large as it wants to and just be pretty. And, you know, oops, our dirt pile back here, we're still working that out. It's lower than it was before last time you guys saw it. So here's my japonica camellia. They're all Greensboro red. They're doing really nicely. You have to excuse the cars in the background because we are coming up close to the end of the road up here. of our driveway that connects to the road. More camellias, and I have more of the Greensboro red. That's what I wanted down here. I wanted bright reds. There's more Greensboro red camellias, and this is a very lovely, can't wait for it to bloom, gardenia bush right there. These little things right here, here, and here are lantana. So this, I think these two right here are like yellow, or yellow, whatever you guys want to call it. And these right here, I think, are just super stinking pretty. Look at that. I mean, they are just beautiful. Just their colors along with the dark oranges, the light oranges, and the yellows in the middle. It's really pretty lantana, and they'll actually get fairly big. I got the larger variety of lantana. So back here where you see all of this space that we've been clearing out, we'll be able to put lantanas all behind here and bring them all out here to the front. They'll eventually get thick, and they'll fill in the space and choke out a lot of the weeds, so it's less work. Here's another really pretty Leland cypress right here, and a little teeny tiny lantana there. I did have a lantana somewhere over the side over here, but I think probably a bunny rabbit or deer or something that enjoys lantana decided they needed it more than I did. So here, if you're looking on the side of my messy shade garden, you can see where we're gathering and raking leaves and pulling the leaves out. Just been an act of labor of love, I'll say, to try to get all these leaves out so we can move them, put them somewhere else, put them in the bins and burn piles, whatever. We have another Leland cypress, so we have lantana that's down there. One's white, one's yellow. I rooted these lilies, and they have come up. These are pink and white. I can't remember the variety at the moment. Down here we have some more lantana. I do like them. They're more pink than anything else here. But look how pretty the lilies are. That is just a beautiful color of lily. And then we have the pink lily here. Focus camera. They want to see, not squint. So they're really pretty. So what I had was I had 2 whites, 2 pinks, and the petals fell off of the other ones back there in the back, and you can kind of see that on the ground. Right here we have the hibiscus. It hasn't flowered yet. It is still growing and doing its thing here, which I really do like it. And I hope it does really well in this shaded area down here. It's going to be really pretty. The little roses, we have a different variety of roses. I have a cream yellow color. I've got a darker yellow. I have reds back there, and I have different varieties of pinks. And you can see that they have new shoots that are coming on them with a new bud that's happening right there on it. So it's really pretty. Really, really pretty. And they're not as fragrant, these knockout roses. They're not as fragrant as I like, but hey, they're doing their thing and they're really pretty. Look at this one. Isn't that pretty? It almost has like pointy star-shaped leaves on the underside of it. So this is really... it's really pretty. I enjoy it. This one's probably the most fragrant of all of the roses that I got in the knockout rose variety. This section is a mess. We have been back and forth out of town. You know, it's summertime and we're doing our thing. So we've got to come in here, weed, and I've got to plant some more ground covering things. Compacti here. Japonica red, Japonica red, Japonica red. There's Japonica red right there and Japonica red back there. The camellias, because I want this to be really thick when they grow up to be big, nice, lovely plants, trees, shrubs, whatever. That's the pretty yellow lilies that I planted. And my purple daisies, again, excuse the weeds, we live in the woods. That's just the vibrant, really pretty purple color of daisy. And it blooms so pretty and it's spreading, which is what I want it to do. So we have to work in this particular part of the garden down here in the part of the yard in my flowers to get rid of all of this stuff. It literally takes sections, and we can only do like an hour at a time because the heat is so bad. So we either work early in the morning or late in the evenings. Look how pretty that is. These yellow daisies have done so well. Oh my goodness, they are so cute. I love them. Well, not the weeds, but you know what I mean. And then there's another purple variety daisy there. Some more compactus. So as you kind of view and you look around at everything here, these grouping of trees right here, I'm going to walk around and show you guys. We're getting the leaves out of there because, again, you live in the woods. You just kind of have them. We're piling everything off so we can either haul it off to bin or haul it off to burn pile to get rid of it. So all of this area in here between these trees are going to be filled up on the inside with things for my birds to enjoy. I have a lot of cardinals out here. I haven't seen very many bluebirds, but I have a ton of what we call mud swallows or barn swallows. You can hear the birds in the background. There's all different types of varieties and wild turkeys, but the wild turkeys don't come up to the front yard, they go to the back. So maybe I can entice some of them to come up here whenever I start putting out some seed, sunflower seed and things. So eventually in this big area I want this really nice bird cage arbor and some climbing roses. It's getting there, but this is like it's taking forever. Literally, it's taking forever. Here's the back side of these japonica camellias, gardenia, old tire that I have no idea where that come from. When we clean this area up next, we'll have to get that gone. And these areas are a whole lot larger than what they appear on camera, let me tell you. And whoo, when you're working in the heat, it's been something. These are daylilies down here. I've fertilized them and done everything humanly possible. No blooms at all. Nothing. So, oh well, they'll just be pretty plumes of green, I guess, until they decide they wanted to bloom. And I'll plant some more in this area as well. So we have ligustrum, and I think ligustrum. Could be wrong, but anyway. And then we have this little section right here of daylilies that I have to clean up, and I'm going to plant rows. So there's going to be another row right here and another row beyond it of different colors of daylilies. So right here we have the yellow streaks right in here. So then we're going to plant the different color on this side and a different color on that side. And if you look back and see where the path is, that the path starts here, you can either go this way in the shade garden or you can go that way in the shade garden. And when we had a storm recently, you can see the sticks and stuff in here. So I got to get back in here and rake. I got to get back in here and spray. There's just a lot of maintenance that is involved in our piles of leaves. But this is on this side of the garden, so you can kind of see. And then we have this, what I want to grow up to be a very huge, tall, thick hedge of japonica camellias, the red ones right here. There's 3 right in here that are planted, so they'll be a buffer for the road, because we're way down here at the very front of the property. I've started in cleaning all of this up with the boys. I have planted these really pretty shrubs right here because of this tree. So these I'll buy some more and plant, and we'll just go all the way around this tree and just kind of fill that in, because they'll get some height on them. I think this particular shrub that I got, I think they get it probably about maybe 4 foot in height, and we'll be able to trim those, and I'll have those really thick, nice and neat. That way if any little bunny rabbits want to bed down in there, they've got a place they can do that. On the back side of the garden, as I walk around our leaf pile here, looks like something's been in it overnight. Something looks like it bedded down. Anyway, we'll come down here to the back side of our walking path here. We have these really pretty bushes here that get fairly large. I think they're called sun golds. Here I got to get some more because I'm going to plant some more back around in there and create a really nice space back behind this tree right here. So it's going to be really pretty when we get more plants and thicken it up. Right down here we have some very old-fashioned canna lilies. We just dug a little trench, threw the roots in, you know, and boom, there they go, the root bulbs, and they've popped up. So we're going to have a whole entire hedge all the way back behind the sun golds. That way, because these actually grow pretty tall. So I like that right there a lot. So, you know, we're just heading on. Here's the path we're walking around here. I'm going to show you around my path here. Look, isn't that pretty right back there? See all the ferns that I have? And the little branch runs that way, and it runs all across and around our 12.5 acres of property. And there's all different types of ferns and things that are growing out here that I get to transplant in my yard, and they work because, you know, they like it here. But this is the branch. It doesn't have hardly any water in it right now because the creek is low. So I'm kind of ready for some rain so I can hear the little waterfalls over the trees and branches and stuff and the rocks. It's such a pretty sound out here. I really like being out here. But these are my ferns. Aren't they so pretty? I'm going to come around and I'm going to take you guys through the front side of the garden. But first, let me show you my little redbud tree. Isn't it teeny tiny? It is so teeny tiny. It's going to be a beautiful redbud tree, and it's doing very well right where it's at. Can't wait for it. Oh, butterflies. Love to see butterflies out here. I planted some pollinator things and butterfly bushes and stuff like that. So this is the whole entire piece. Let's see the morning sun out here too. It's all the shade garden parts here. And I'll just kind of walk in a little bit if the sun isn't too bad. The boys help me decorate all different kinds of things, and they help me plant a lot of stuff. It's kind of dirty because the last rainstorm we had really threw the dirt and the mud everywhere. But I wanted to show you on the arbor this. See the pretty white flowers and yellow flowers on this? They're two-tone. This is a Confederate jasmine, and man, that thing, look at it. It has grown and it's touching all the way up to the top. I want it to completely engulf and wrap this whole entire arbor in this Confederate jasmine. It is so pretty, and it smells beautiful. Just the smell alone is wonderful. Into part shade, part sun. I call it my shade garden out here. There's plenty of varieties of hosta, verbena, ligustrums, some pinks. There are some little teeny tiny daisy varieties out here. I have Rose of Sharon out there. I have purple clover out there. I have a Golda Cuba. I can't think of that. I think it's a palm lily that's out there, and a butterfly bush. And another ligustrum out there. It curves around this way. So if you walk around this way and you see what we're working on here, and this section right here, you'll see all the pretty plants. The coleus, you'll see lilies, different types of lantanas, verbenas. There's a teeny tiny miniature little sunflower plant back there. You'll see all that in this section. And the goal is to wrap this whole thing around in a kind of a half moon type shape. I still look inside that little bird box. I think it's too low to the ground. I don't think any birds are gonna like that too much because of predators. But anyway, so this section right here, as you can see, the plants and stuff that I just told you about that I put in, it goes and it wraps all the way around that area, because this space right here is open. it's going to be open because I want to have like a big sitting area here and a place with a bird cage arbor to have some pretty climbing roses in here and just clean this whole entire space out and make it really, really pretty. And in the evenings, it's really cool back here, like really cool. Like right now the sun's coming up, in the heat of the day it'll be brutal, very brutal. But you know, that's kind of what it is. We have all different kinds of hostas here, ligustrums. That we've had to clean it out. We had to dump the water out because it's got yucky stuff all in it. Ugh. And you know, with stagnant water, you don't want to have mosquito larvae and that kind of thing in it. So I don't know if I'm going to put water back in it or if I'm going to put seed for the birds in it or not. But this is the little area here with some more flowers. I'm going to walk through the arbor and smell that lovely jasmine. It is so pretty. So we have this on this side. And I do have some plants in here that apparently just don't like it in here too good. I don't know, it's been really wild. That salvia typically does pretty good here, but I just think it's dry and we just need to bring some water out here. And we have to bring like so many water hoses out here, I can't even tell you because like I said, we're so far off the road. The lamb's ear's all droopy, so I've got to undroopy my lamb's ear. But everything else looks, oh, there's my shadow. Hey, shadow. Everything else looks pretty good. We've got these adorable little bird boxes here. I'll be surprised if any bird ever uses it. But I was, you know, telling my birds when I come out here, I said, okay, so we don't offend any birds out here. We've got one for the church here for my religious birds. And then we have the ones out here for my not religious birds. So y'all choose whichever box you want to use. It don't matter to Chrissy. I don't care. Just have some babies and be awesome. And anyway, this is rudbeckia right here. We have some, these are bushes or plants, I should say, not bushes. These plants right here are supposed to be for erosion control. We'll see. And then there's a little butterfly bush back there. There's some Mexican heather, the lilies, japonica camellias behind it. This area is being built up in here. And then there's some high phlox. I don't know if y'all can even see that with the sunshine just burning in my eyeball holes here. But anyway, it's here. We've got all this stuff back here. When you live in the woods, you got all kinds of critters and all kinds of wind that blows all kinds of stuff that we don't want in here. So all of this will be raked out. It will be cleaned out. I will transplant those beautiful ferns back into these spaces around the trees so that will fill it in. And it will kind of act like a beautiful, wild, unconventional shade garden, or just a garden, whatever we decide. You know, it's up to us, whatever we decide, whatever we want to do. And that's all of it. Literally, that is all of it. That's everything. That is everything. Hey, so it's early morning. This is the only time I can get out and walk, and you know, you see fluffy stuff. I haven't even had my shower yet, but I will. So this is my shade garden. This is what I'm working on. It's been a labor of love. We started it in early March. It's been years of cleaning up all this area down here because we've been here now, what, 19 or 20 years on this property that we own, and 12.5 acres of woods is a lot to keep up with. It's a lot of work, and it requires a lot of time and a lot of dedication. But anyway, this is my unconventional garden.